Hello, welcome to Japanese craft beer reviews. Today I have a special beer from a special brewery and one of my favorite breweries in Japan, and that is Kyoto Brewing Company from the city of Kyoto. The beer is this one in question. It is called Kyoto Brewing Futoku Nagaku, and the English name is Movember. And some of you may know what Movember is. If you don't, I'm going to explain it to you. This is a collaboration brew between two breweries, Kyoto Brewing and Two Rabbits Brewing in Omihachiman on the shores of Lake Biwa, the largest lake in Japan. And but first, a little bit about. This one is made by Kyoto Brewing, and the Two Rabbits Brewing Company made a different beer, but they kind of combined two of them. Let me explain, though, first a little bit about Kyoto Brewing Company. This is one of my favorite breweries in Japan. They started in 2015 in the city of Kyoto, and they were formed by three foreign residents of the city, an American man, a Canadian, and a Welsh man. And they got their start in 2015, and I remember well when they started. I had known the head brewer for a few years before they started. He was an exceptional home brewer and would sometimes bring us samples of his beer, and we would drink and comment and talk, and he got quite good at home brewing, definitely. He also studied in the U.S. and did an internship at Lost Abbey in California, and then he worked for a short period at one of the best Japanese breweries, Shiga Kogen, in Nagano Prefecture. And so they came out of the gates, right away. They hit the ground running, and in 2015 they were named the best new brewery in Japan by Rate Beer. And in 2019 they were also named the best brewery in Japan by Rate Beer. So they have a tap room in Kyoto, and they're located in the Minami district of Kyoto, which is just south of Kyoto Station a little ways. And by cab, it should take you maybe 10 minutes or so to get there, not much more. It is actually walkable too. So they have a tap room connected to the brewery, and they're open only on weekends, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And they have a number of series, many different series of beers. They have their Nakama series, which is what this one is their Nakama means buddy or friend, casually. And so collaborations, Nakama series. They have a whole lager series that they are, trying to reinterpret different styles of lager. So many. They have a barrel-aged series too as well. Some wonderful barrel-aged beers. So in any case, the head brewer left the company in, was it December of, March, I guess March of 2024. They have a new brewer now, and he is also American, and I met him not too long ago. He comes very highly recommended, and Kyoto Brewing is kind of changing. They have what they call Kyoto Brewing KBC 2.0, so they're kind of reevaluating what they had been doing, and they're going to be making some big changes. They'll have their 10th anniversary coming up soon. All right, well, this beer, let's take a look at this beer here. It's called, again, Kyoto Brewing Futoku Nagaku, and Movember in English. Futoku means fat or thick, and Nagaku means long. And they're playing with the reverse of short and sweet. What is this beer? Well, it's partially a charity beer for men's health, and apparently that's what Movember is. Movember means when grow a mustache in November. So people who take part in this will start on November 1st and grow a mustache for the full month. And you can see pictures of them online. Several of the employees grew a mustache for the month of Movember. So mustache November. Again, a collaboration with Two Rabbits. So short and sweet, no. Men's health, a lot of men do not get take care of their health well enough, don't see a doctor regularly, so things like prostate cancer go undetected, colon cancer go undetected, and the idea here is no, life should be fat and long instead of short and sweet. So it's again a benefit beer for a nonprofit in Japan that works with men's health here. And the style is Baltic Porter, which is not made by many people in Japan, that's for sure. These days primarily, I think Baltic Porters are primarily made in Poland, and perhaps some in Finland, Estonia as well. And so Baltic Porter is an interesting style. It's less roasty than imperial stouts, but more roasted than just regular stouts, and less hopped, and a little bit higher in alcohol than regular stouts. This one is 9%, and in fact it's 9% and 40 international bittering units. So less roasted, smoother perhaps, maybe more like a Schwarzbier. So it should be fruity and have a bit of punch to it as well. So a Baltic style, and the other brewing company, Two Rabbits, made Sahti, which is also quite a rare style, which is a Finnish strong ale from Finland, which features rye along with barley malt, and should generally have little hop character, and also perhaps juniper berries added to it here. So Sahtis are not so easy to come by, that's for sure. So this beer has, the malt bill is Golden Promise malt, Crystal Medium, and chocolate malt. And the hops are called Flex, which I'm not familiar with, Hallertauer Mittelfrüh, 2 hops there, and lager yeast. And they also added some raw barley and raw rye to get the kind of Sahti character, and brown sugar. Rate Beer had 2 ratings when I checked, and it was pretty high, 3.95 out of 5. Untapped, there were 38 ratings when I looked, and also similarly quite high, 3.87 out of 5. Okay, so this should be an interesting beer. It cost me 756 yen where I bought it, which would translate to $4.78 in US dollars, and in euros 4.64, or €4.64. I am looking forward to this one here. 9%, 40 IBUs. Movember. I didn't grow a mustache. Oh my, okay. Whoa. Okay, take a look at this. This is very, very dark. Of course, it's opaque. Cannot see through it. Put the light behind it. Nothing comes through. And really kind of dark tan or light brown head of foam. Sort of a frothy head of foam as well. All right, aroma. Oh my, oh my. Okay. And I do get this. It does have the roastiness, more like a Schwarzbier, but kind of like a condensed Schwarzbier. Imperial stouts tend to have a more ashy sort of smokiness to them. Wow, wow. This has a real deep sort of roastiness, but it's not as thick and ashy as an Imperial stout. I'm also getting a lot of chocolate here. Maybe some dark fruit in the mix. Very appealing aroma. Ooh. Okay. Yeah, again, more like a Schwarzbier, but like an Imperial Schwarzbier. So not an Imperial Stout, but an Imperial Schwarzbier, dark beer, black beer. Again, this is a lager, or no, I'm sorry, not lager. It has lager yeast, so it's not an ale. It doesn't have the body of an ale. or an imperial stout, or a stout, imperial stout. So it's kind of medium bodied, flows very smoothly through the palate. I am getting a hint of the graininess as well. So they added raw barley and raw rye. Rye, of course, gives a kind of pepperiness. I'm not detecting, well, maybe a touch, yeah. I'm not sure if it's maybe rye malt that gives the pepperiness or not, but this has a bit of spice in it. Certainly very warming, 9% alcohol. Wow. Yeah. So you get a sense that this is kind of a hybrid sort of thing. I don't think typically Baltic porters would include these raw, unmalted barley and rye, but certainly they would include malted rye, I think. But again, I don't quote me on that. This is wonderful, really. Yeah, so it is smooth, drinkable, a little bit high in the alcohol, 9%. Moderate bitterness, not as bitter, not as heavily hopped as an imperial stout would be, but just right. Good job, really good job here. Interesting style. Pick up a Baltic porter sometime and give it a go. I think you'll find it's quite different, or not quite different, but different from an imperial stout and different from a regular stout, and also different from a Schwarzbier. Maybe it combines some elements of all three as well. So once again, this is called Kyoto Brewing Company Futoku Nagaku Movember Baltic Porter at 9% alcohol. And if you're ever in Kyoto, please do stop by Kyoto Brewing. That should be your #1 beer stop, and try out several of their beers, and let me know what you think. Okay, tell me about your experience with Baltic porters or other kinds of heavy dark drinks as well. Take care, stay healthy. Bye bye.